Chapter 4, Leading Edge Research interviews Alex Klier. More on the magnetic color sound frequency. Subsequent to the publication of the ETS and the Global Connection in Leading Edge number 89, we did an interview with Alex Klier in order to ask some follow-up questions and try to gain further insight into the paradigm involved. The following is the result of our interview. Val, one question that arises as a result of analysis of the material in your Dallas lecture involves a further exploration of the concept of the magnetic color sound frequency emanating from black holes. In your Dallas lecture, you said that this particular activity began a short time ago. AC, I don't know that I know much more than I've already said, but I'll go through it again. According to Moreni, on March 23 of 1994 a color and sound frequency apparently started emanating from the black holes. It is of such a high vibration that it is literally invisible to us. It is not, however, invisible to those in other dimensions or to those who are technologically advanced enough to be able to register this energy. Now, they have said all along that the universe that we physically see is only 21 billion years old. The space in which our universe is in, which is only one layer in many dimensions which they call consciousness, is a 21 trillion year old holograph. This new frequency which is coming out of the third density black hole spans the entire range of the holograph of the universe, and it is literally creating a new holographic idea. They are calling this new holograph the 12th, and they have said to me that it is literally bringing all the dimensions together. Third density is beginning to implode on itself. Val Volomelchiznik at one time in the Flower of Life discourse made some statements on what he thought people might objectively see when a dimensional interface was in progress. I mean, the physical picture that people would observe when this was happening. Do you have any ideas about this, or have the Andromedans stated anything about this? Would there be objects appear that have unusual colors, or things that appear and disappear? Have they ever told you what to expect, beyond the increased appearance of ghostly phenomena as time progresses? AC, well, certainly they have said that, but in their opinion the closer we get to fifth density, we shall see that. In their perspective, fourth density is a consciousness. This is one of the blinds of metaphysics that is being taught here on Earth. Val, blinds. AC, it's a misteaching. Val, please explain. A misteaching in metaphysics. AC, alright. Fourth density is a unified consciousness. As we move into fourth density, we will become more in tune, not only with the Earth, but with each other. We will know something is going on without having to look at television or listen to the radio. We will start to feel it, and we will literally have conversations in our heads with loved ones long gone or in other parts of the world. It will be confirmed that what we call daydreaming is a real occurrence. They said that this is going to happen more and more as we get closer to fourth density. Many of the children under the age of 14, as we go into fourth density, are going to start speaking ancient dialects, and have no explanation as to how they know it. Children and adults will be discovering archaeological sites all over the world. New inventions will come out of nowhere. People will be able to draw sophisticated diagrams. Many racial memories embodying extraterrestrial origins will start to come up as a result of the genetics that each one of us carries. Certain memories will start to come up, and they have said that some of those memories will not be ours, but instead have their origin within the genetics that have been attached to us. Val, by these 22 extraterrestrial races that have had a part to play in the evolution of the human body? AC, right. Now, this is occurring already, and so many people are angry. Much of the anger that is coming up in young people is because some of this DNA is unlocking, and they don't know what to do with the energy, because third density is compressing. Val, well, then, what would one advise teens to do? AC, the Andromedans never really got into this area. I'll have to get back to them about this, but I am certain it will have to do with setting up a system of expression. Val, most probably. I know that culturally this society is lacking in viable systems of expression that have been thwarted by technological evolution. So, a perceptual change where one sees bizarre visual things would not occur until we begin to go into fifth density? AC, yes, we will first start to see what we think are ghosts or spirit guides. Some of us on the planet, and there are already 5 who can do this, will be moving in and out between fourth and fifth density almost at will. They will be able to teleport to different places on the planet. We were talking about hundreds of thousands of people. If they were right, this will mean we'll be going through some remarkable shifts. If they were right. Q. Getting back to other planets and other societies, what would you like to say? AC, there is so much life out there. There is an abundance of life. There is apparently plant and animal life on the planet Uranus, right? Digital art. Val, but it exists at a different frequency. AC, yes, and some of it is identical to what we have on Earth on this frequency. General trends of humanoid races in the universe. Val, how about humanoid races and societies, in comparison to us? The society on Earth has a manipulative base historically grounded in the Orion system. What about things on the opposite side of the coin? What is the norm in space societies, insofar as you are aware of? AC, well, the norm is definitely light. You know, self-rule and self-responsibility. The thing in that is going on in our particular part of the galaxy, which includes 21 systems, concerns the idea of tyranny. What is interesting about this is that the area in which this tyranny is occurring is a very, very old area. It has been colonized for a long time, and it has been under control of some of the oldest races, like the Alpha Draconians. They were the first race to have space travel in our galaxy and were remarkable builders, but their species multiplied so rapidly that they decided to conquer other races to make room for them. Our race, the Earth human race, was literally created by a group that came down from a dimensional realm, and these were the Pratal. This verbal expression called Pratal is actually of Draconian origin. Val, so in actuality the genetics comprising the human body are a composite from around the galaxy, but the spiritual entities occupying human bodies are literally the Pratal. AC, right. Val, so, are there any Pratal occupying reptilian bodies? AC, I don't know. Val, that would be an interesting twist on events. If there is a huge time loop, maybe the reptilians actually came from now, and swung back 4 billion years and started something there. AC, interesting. Anything is certainly possible. So, anyway, how the humans in this galaxy apparently found out about the Pratal was that somehow they were able to get a hold of ancient Draconian records. Now, the Draconians are apparently extremely private about their lineage and their history. Everything's a secret. They have family houses of lineage they are very proud of. Val, sort of like the Klingons on Star Trek. AC, probably similar. Anyway, they found out about the Draconian legends which speak of a time where a group of beings came out of nowhere and created a race to war against and challenge the Draconian sovereignty. Val, of the universe. AC, well, no. We only see a small part of the universe. Even if you look at the part of the universe we can see physically, they say there are 100 trillion galaxies. So, the Draconians are not everywhere. There are a lot of them here, and this is one of the areas that is causing a problem. General observations on Andromedan society. Val, what have you observed about Andromedan society? AC, well, I will give you the most striking things. They're incredibly happy. There is a peace, tranquility and humbleness about them as a race. It's more of a feeling. And emotion. They are not like us. Moroni is the only one who has gone to the trouble to physically learn how to use spoken language. Vises has always been telepathic. The others do not talk. They just watch. Val, you probably feel like you are under a microscope. AC, you can feel them listening to your mind, but they don't infringe. Val, it's very hard to explain. Let me give you an example. If you knew somebody was spying on you, and you went about your daily business mowing your lawn and throwing the trash away, you would be ignoring them even though you knew they were spying on you. That's what it's like. I don't have a problem with that because I know that they are trying to learn about us. Many of the ETs hold us in awe, and they are fascinated by us. The thing that fascinates them the most about us is our extreme range of emotion. They are odd because emotion is such an incredible creative force. Val, albeit coercively misdirected. AC, yes. Now, the Andromedans themselves are not very emotional. In other words, you can feel their emotion, but when it comes to expressing it, they all appear to be very stoic. Val, what? AC, they don't show it. Val, oh. AC, I mean, they are very straight-faced. It's like they are all business even though you can sense the emotions. I remember when I first started having contact and I was taken to a place where there were Andromedan children, who moved away from me because I was Earth. Now, the children are taught about the different worlds and races, and because of the Andromedan holographic technology, it's easy for them to create environments where their children really know and experience what Earth humans are like. Val, well, What are they like amongst themselves? AC, they are very much like us, except that there is always absolute silence. The children are not real expressive. They don't run and jump around all the time. They have a lot of self-control. When they do run, they don't bend their knees, like the Japanese or Chinese. There is a lot of smiling, but there is not deep laughter. It is as if you were going to a mute class. Val, what is the pairing like in relationships? AC, well, there are 3 sexes. Male, female and androgynous. What is interesting is that the androgynous beings tend to be teachers. In the middle of their mother ships there are huge parks. In the ship I was on, the park was 25 miles square. Val, can I safely assume that they do not have a social power structure because they exercise personal self-control? They don't need an external political power structure? AC, I have never seen that. No. There is what we would call a science team, that can also move into a military role if it needs to. The Andromedans go to school for over 150 to 170 Earth years, and they are taught all the sciences, arts, and everything. They participate in those fields, doing the actual work, while they learn. Then, they have an opportunity to teach what they've learned to the young ones. The oldest and wisest teach the youngest what they know. They express this concept as the law of consistency. The young ones gain the benefit from most of the knowledge of the entire race. Val, do they consume food? AC, I have seen them eat fruit, which they grow on the ships, but for the most part all I have seen them eat are little green tablets. It's kind of like an alfalfa tablet, but it has a really wicked taste. I volunteered to eat it, and Morani cautioned me against it. I took half an tablet and chewed on it and immediately threw up, right there on the ship. He told me it was because of the oxygen that was in the tablet. Val, do they have blue blood? AC, yes, they do. Val, so, that would mean their blood is copper-based? AC, correct. You are the first person to ask me that. Val, so, they must come from a binary star system. AC, yes, they do. They say quite a few of them are binary systems. Val, and our system here is binary, but on a different frequency where Jupiter is a sun on the 5th density? AC, yes. Val, so, on a different density, our sun might not be a sun, possibly? AC, possibly. Val, well, what is our Earth in the 5th density? It is already there on the 5th, or is it a transformative process from the 3rd? AC, right now, the Earth in the 5th density consists of a huge blue halo. Val, so, on the 5th density, Earth is a budding creation ready to manifest itself into physicality? AC, yes. Val, so, what else is interesting about Andromedan society? AC, in everything they do, nothing is ever wasted. In other words, all of the things they do involve education. It's almost as if everything they do is geared to stretch them more, challenge them more, and make them a more intelligent, more understanding, aware race. What is really interesting is that they are absolutely not competitive in any way. It's something that comes from each one of them individually. All of their social functions are focused on education and not distraction. Val, whereas the function of our society is exactly the opposite. No wonder it's going nowhere. Do they have any kind of pseudo-religious structure within their society, or is it simply an appreciation of the isness of the universe? AC, I have never seen any activity like that. It is as if they are plugged in all the time. There is just a serenity that is part of the race itself. I think it was Paul the Apostle who said, always be in prayer. That's what it's like. It's like they're always in prayer. Val, you said one time that their eye change color when they think or contemplate something. AC, their pupils change color. They tend to slant a little on the inside and outside, but for all intents and purposes they are round. It's like a cross of the round eye and the oriental eye. Val, that must be fascinating to watch. AC, well, I had a lot of trouble with it in the beginning. I was so focused not only on their eyes changing color, but with the flashes of color on their forehead between their eyes. I was so involved with this that I wasn't listening to what they were saying to me. They would have to repeat it over and over. They didn't understand why I wasn't paying attention to what they were saying. Val, how tall is the average Andromedan? AC, I have seen them as tall as 9 feet. Morani is about 7 or 8 feet tall. He says he weighs the equivalent of 450 of our pounds. Val, what is the shape of their skull case? AC, just like ours. I have seen some of their very old females, where the skin gets whiter, and the skull case tends to be elongated in the back. Most of the males look similar to us. They are all hairless. Val, you must be quite a fascination for them, then. AC, I have given quite a few strands of hair away. Other races associated with Andromedans. Val, what other races do they associate with? AC, they are very close with groups from Tau Ceti and from Cygnus Alpha. The group from Cygnus Alpha know a great deal about acoustic technology. They do a lot with sound. Val, photonic sound technology and optophotonic technology, here on Earth, are becoming part of the mind and behavior control program here. AC, some of those from Cygnus Alpha are here on Earth. Val, are they interfacing with the Earth groups dealing with this technology? AC, no, they're totally isolated in very rural communities. There are over 1,400 humanoids here who are only observing that will be apparently leaving in the next couple of years. Val, in order to meet the August 2003 deadline set by the Council. AC, yes. Many of the planets in the Andromedan system have water. Some of them are totally covered by water, and they live on the surface of the water and below these oceans. The dolphins that we have now on Earth are apparently a cross between a mammal from the Sirian system and one from the Cygnus Alpha system. Val, what races have the Andromedans talked about to you? AC, the Pleiadians, the Lyrans, the Arcturians, the Chiakars. The Draconian royal line. Val, who are the Chiakars? Pronounce Seekars. AC, the royal line of the Alpha Draconians. Val, the Reptilians. Are those the ones that have the wings attached to their shoulders? AC, yes, and a very long tail. Val, aha. The pseudo-biblical devil image. AC, yes. The Chiakar. Val, I knew of their existence and what they looked like, but I never knew the name of the race until now. Interesting. AC, the Chiakar are in fact a different race than the Alpha Draconians themselves. The ones that we know as the Draconians are a sub-race of the Chiakars. Other races mentioned by the Andromedans have been those from planets in the systems of Sirius A, B and C, where some planets are now being terraformed: the Zeta Reticulan system, Zeta 1 through 4 Cygnus Alpha, the Dales, the Brown Greys, the Dows, the White Greys, groups from the system in what we call the constellation of Sagittarius, the Mintakians, groups from what we see as the constellation of Cassiopeius, who the Andromedans credit with saving their race at one time, Tau Ceti, the Alpha Centauri system of Venaticians from the Canis Major area. Val, it is curious why, when they would mention different races to you, they would bother to translate a multi-million light-year difference in perspective relative to the way humans name constellations, so as to pinpoint the origin of various races. AC, they did it to accommodate me. Val, there are a whole collection of species in all these areas. Besides assisting people here to understand that the universe is highly populated, what other purpose can this detailed information as to origin provide? It does have a tendency to confuse people who are still grasping at the idea that we are not alone. It could be overkill. The rescue mission. AC, I understand that, but we're kind of under a time crunch here on Earth. My understanding is that the reason they gave me information regarding these races is that many of us have had experiences in these races in space. There is a hope, perhaps, to trigger unconscious memory in humans here on Earth. Also, many of these races are involved in the rescue mission. Val, rescue mission? AC, the mission, if need be, to rescue us from either ourselves or destruction. A mystery in Andromedan logic? Val, I thought the basic concept was that we didn't need to be saved from anything, that how everything turns out, from the Andromedan perspective, is already a done deal. We eventually pass the test, and after 2003 everything is fine and the regressive tyranny is stamped out. I presume that is what is being inferred, is that it is already a done deal. I mean, that's what is being inferred, isn't it? AC, yes. Val, well, if that's the case, how does one figure in this other propensity or thought pattern on the part of the Andromedans? I am trying to balance the two in my mind. AC, I wrestle with that one myself. I honestly don't know. Apparently, certain things are predetermined but other things are not, and there might be a time where they need to come in and help us. Val, that time would presumably be before or after August 12, 2003? Galactic Interplay behind the scenes AC, or, around August 12, 2003. Many of these groups here are the ones who will be involved. The Tau Ceti group has wanted to invade this planet already and go after not only some of the regressives, but more importantly factions of the United States government. Apparently, one of the Tau Ceti race was shot down by the government and taken somewhere at an underground base in North Dakota where he was tortured. His organs were removed while he was still alive, one at a time. It was Earth people that did this. Now, this Tau Session is a human being, and some of the Pleiadian and Andromedan groups literally had to step in and prevent the Sessions from coming in here and trying to protect this person. Val, what other kind of interesting interplay has gone on behind the scenes lately? There are apparently a lot of skirmishes going on. AC, a lot of it has involved the Pleiadians and the Greys. To my knowledge, it hasn't moved beyond those two groups going after each other. The Greys are trying to get out of here. I was told about a situation which occurred about 2 or 3 years ago. I was given information that a 21-mile-long craft was seen leaving the equator from under the ocean. The Tau Sessions, the Pleiadians and a group from Zeta Reticuli, who were not service to self, formed a triangular position to block this craft which was trying to get off Earth and evade the quarantine the Andromedan Council is trying to establish relative to alien races visiting the Earth. Anyway, they captured the craft, which belonged to the Tau's large white-skinned Greys. They were able to board the craft and they found 8,700 hybrid children. Val, human hybrid children. Grey human hybrids? AC, yes. Val, they were trying to get the hybrids off the planet even though the whole hybrid program is a lost cause. Captured human souls. AC, well, there's more. They also found more than 1,000 human children that had been placed in cryogenic stasis, and over 1 million of these little boxes that contained the life forces of souls from Earth. Val, captured human souls. AC, souls. Val, and what do they do with these souls? AC, they feed off the energy radiated by the souls. What they are doing, Val, is that they are taking the life force and they are somehow siphoning it off a little at a time and feeding it to the hybrids in order to keep them alive, trying to keep them alive and create a soul in them. Val, meanwhile, what happens to the soul in the box? AC, Moreni did not want to answer that question. The 1,000 human children that were taken off the craft were then transported to the Pleiadian system. The decision was apparently made that they could not come back to Earth after this experience with the Greys. I do not know what happened to the souls that were in those boxes. Val, they would presumably have a way to release them, I would think. AC, I would think so. I can remember Moreni saying that the Andromedans did not know that the Greys could do this and had this kind of technology. Val, now that they know about it, what now? AC, I don't know. There is a lot they don't tell me. Val, well, I knew more than 5 years ago that the Greys had this kind of technology. AC, well, they are very frustrated. Moreni has said on numerous occasions that it's just their time. The Greys are going to die out. Val, what about us? We pass the test and those who do not go to 5th density create another 3rd density holographic reality to continue to play the game until they mature beyond that. In that light, what does happen to all of us? AC, my understanding is that all of us become teachers. Val, all of us? AC, yes. We all go to different parts of physicality and 5th density. Val, and become teachers. Because of this experience we have had on Earth? AC, yes. Val, you said that as things begin to heat up vibrationally here, we are going to have access to buried memory within the genetics. How is someone who is a redneck going to handle that? AC, hectares. I haven't a clue. I am kind of worried on how I am going to handle it. Val, and this is supposed to happen when? AC, between now and 2007. By 2009 there will be people on the planet going in and out of 4th and 5th density. Val, on Star Trek and Deep Space Nine you see many different races mixing and interacting. Is that close to what is actually going on? AC, it's very close to the truth, from what I understand. Val, if that's the case, it makes it even harder to be satisfied with being here. When the dominoes start to fall. AC, I can't tell you how many times I have not wanted to come back here. When these dominoes start to fall, people will be flocking to contactees and people involved in the UFO fields for answers. Val, and in many cases, these will be exactly the wrong people to ask. AC, in many cases, but nobody else is talking to them. The government's attitude is that the truth is a lie undiscovered. The people won't have any choice. They will be coming to people like yourself, who have integrity. You will find yourself in a leadership role. It's going to happen, and it really is as it should be. Some of those who these people will go to for answers will be service to self-oriented, who will be in it for the buck or are into being famous. That means nothing. Val, that's mind-boggling. Heck, within a very short time, those of us who are talking about this will go from being looked at as kooks to being teachers, and all it will take is one mothership to park itself around the moon, or have a squadron of craft fly across the United States in the middle of the afternoon. That's all it's going to take. Val, a lot of people wandering around talking to themselves. AC, that's a given, and these people are going to want some answers. The religious people will be the hardest hit, because in many respects they are going to have the rug pulled right out from under them. Val, well, isn't this also the idea of the regressives? To allow this to happen for a manipulative advantage over the population? AC, yes. Which side of the coin? Val, so, one would never know which side of the coin it really was, if and when this does happen? How would one know? AC, it's an intuition. However, the people in Middle America who watch television reruns every night won't know the difference. The average person who doesn't pay attention to what is going on in their world and what it is that they are creating will not be prepared for this. Val, I would think excitement would push intuition right out the window. I think it would be a matter of keeping one's act together whether what we saw was positive or negative. AC, yes it would. The bottom line is that you won't know who you are or where you're going until you get there, and we're all going to be in that boat together. Val, how soon will that be? AC, it could be as early as April of 1997. It's probably going to be sooner, but April of 1997 I was told would be the highest probability. Val, that's about the time Hale-Bopp arrives. AC, yes. Hale-Bopp will be here in February-March 1997. Val, so, a lot of other things will happen around the same time. AC, yes. World leaders at Gizeh in 2000. Val, do you have any take on this January 1, 2000 meeting of the world leaders at the pyramid at Gizeh? AC, you have read Sitchin's work, yes. Val, yes. AC, remember when he makes reference to Anu? Val, yes. AC, well, supposedly Anu is supposed to come back at that time. Val, which is on the regressive side of the coin. AC, yes. Val, and? AC, and all the world leaders are supposed to be there to worship and adore him as the god of the underworld. Val, it sounds rather unexciting. Obviously, something must happen to Anu, considering how everything turns out later. It's only 3 years before the cutoff date for all extraterrestrials to be away from Earth. So, with that in mind, do you have any take on the events between 2000 and 2003 and what the progression of events may be? AC, oh, the Earth will be going through a lot of changes. There will be new viruses to contend with, as well as famine and floods. We will also have wars, most of which will be fought over food and water. China is supposed to break up into separate countries in a vast civil war. China will end up using nuclear weapons within its own borders against itself. Val, now, this is curious. A lot of university work has been done that has come up with super crops, such as super corn and super wheat that could produce vast harvests. Harvard University studies have shown that the Earth can comfortably support 34 billion people using only 25% of the ice-free land to grow food. All this potential exists right now that they are not going to even use, because somebody wants it to happen this way. A higher agenda which involves us as souls. AC, but there's a much higher agenda here. It obviously involves us as souls, but it also has to do with something that is very strategic about this solar system. I will tell you why so many people are interested in this solar system. We have some strange planets here. Not only is Earth unique because of all the life forms here, but according to Moreni, when we as Pratal came down from a higher density to inhabit these bodies in third density, we used a type of vehicle to travel from where we were to where we are now. A type of vehicle. They say that the planet Jupiter was the vehicle we used. Val, which is also now Sun on 5th density. AC, yes. Val, so, we brought our own potential black hole along with us. AC, our own escape hatch. Richard Hoagland is onto the hyperdimensional bizarreness of Jupiter, but he will never figure it out because he doesn't think along the lines of spirit, really. AC, well, he has set it up so that he has an academic position to defend. The credibility gap. I guess everybody has their niche. AC, yes. He just doesn't talk about those things. It all comes from spirit anyway. Val, so, what happens next? Everything must turn out fine after 2003, because they were looking at from a position in time. AC, yes. We were going to go through some stuff, and I don't know how it's exactly going to play out, but they have said on more than one occasion that they are very proud of us in the end, as a race. Val, the end of the third density experiment? AC, yes. Val, which will be in linear terms. AC, they told me that it would be on December 3, 2013. Val, tell me more about your understanding of dimensions. AC, my understanding of dimensions is that each dimension is a holograph that vibrates at a higher color sound frequency than others. Fifth density is a frequency scale of 214 colors, as opposed to the 73 color frequency spectrum we have here in third density. Val, how does the mathematical progression go? AC, I don't know, but it is a progression. End of interview. The rescue mission. AC, I understand that, but we're kind of under a time crunch here on Earth. My understanding is that the reason they gave me information regarding these races is that many of us have had experiences in these races in space. There is a hope, perhaps, to trigger unconscious memory in humans here on Earth. Also, many of these races are involved in the rescue mission. Val, rescue mission? AC, the mission, if need be, to rescue us from either ourselves or destruction. A mystery in Andromedan logic? Val, I thought the basic concept was that we didn't need to be saved from anything, that how everything turns out, from the Andromedan perspective, is already a done deal. We eventually pass the test, and after 2003 everything is fine and the regressive tyranny is stamped out. I presume that is what is being inferred, is that it is already a done deal. I mean, that's what is being inferred, isn't it? AC, yes. Val, well, if that's the case, how does one figure in this other propensity or thought pattern on the part of the Andromedans? I am trying to balance the two in my mind. AC, I wrestle with that one myself. I honestly don't know. Apparently, certain things are predetermined but other things are not, and there might be a time where they need to come in and help us. Val, that time would presumably be before or after August 12, 2003? Galactic Interplay behind the scenes AC, or, around August 12, 2003. Many of these groups here are the ones who will be involved. The Tau Ceti group has wanted to invade this planet already and go after not only some of the regressives, but more importantly factions of the United States government. Apparently, one of the Tau Ceti race was shot down by the government and taken somewhere at an underground base in North Dakota where he was tortured. His organs were removed while he was still alive, one at a time. It was Earth people that did this. Now, this Tau session is a human being, and some of the Pleiadian and Andromedan groups literally had to step in and prevent the sessions from coming in here and trying to protect this person. Val, what other kind of interesting interplay has gone on behind the scenes lately? There are apparently a lot of skirmishes going on. AC, a lot of it has involved the Pleiadians and the Greys. To my knowledge, it hasn't moved beyond those two groups going after each other. The Greys are trying to get out of here. I was told about a situation which occurred about 2 or 3 years ago. I was given information that a 21-mile-long craft was seen leaving the equator from under the ocean. The Tau sessions, the Pleiadians and a group from Zeta Reticuli, who were not service to self, formed a triangular position to block this craft which was trying to get off Earth and evade the quarantine the Andromedan Council is trying to establish relative to alien races visiting the Earth. Anyway, they captured the craft, which belonged to the Tao's large white-skinned Greys. They were able to board the craft and they found 8,700 hybrid children. Val, human hybrid children. Grey human hybrids? AC, yes. Val, they were trying to get the hybrids off the planet even though the whole hybrid program is a lost cause. End of interview.